Hi everyone, it's Maria, Velo Sews. Thank you for joining me in my sewing studio. This is Friday Sews. So today's report, I've got quite a few things to tell you. This top that I'm wearing is a linen top. The linen print that I'm wearing was from the fabric store a few years ago. The top I made in October 2022. It's a Santa Rosa top from Liesl & Co. And it's brilliant for the summer when it's hot and humid as it is right now in Sydney. I'll hand it to Maria, who reported on Tuesday after pattern making class. Take it away, Maria, on Tuesday. Hi everyone, it's Maria and it is Tuesday night now. Yep, it's Tuesday night and this is a quick update about today's pattern making class. So last week, as a refresher, we did a pencil skirt, or I did a skirt block, which was, I ended up making a pencil skirt, and I took it to class today. I'll show you further in the corner, but this was the version that I did just to make sure that it would work, and I added a few features. And look, this is a fake suede that I probably bought 20 years ago now, and I was pretty happy with how it turned out. It's fully lined. I put pockets in it, and you'll be seeing what it looks like because I took a few photos during the week. So I'm really happy with how that's turned out. And we start with basic blocks, so it's not as if we measure ourselves to create the pattern. We're given the pattern and we adjust it for our size. Today we did the bodice, and what you can see behind me is the toile that I did. So we did the fitting at the front. It's got one dart. It's a long sleeve, some darting at the back, and that worked pretty well. Now this is calico. I won't be wearing it, of course. And this is my teeny tiny short sleeve. So we did short sleeved. We created the long sleeve first. The adjustments, I've got it all written down in my little book. I know it's a really boring looking book, but it actually works for me. And I've taken a bunch of photos. So today was really successful. We all got to work on the fit of a bodice that was going to work for us. I chose to have the front opening. Other people chose to use the center back as their opening. And we talked about a whole lot of different issues which we can do further work on in week 4 or on the extension class. So thank you for joining me late on a Tuesday night, and I'm handing it back over to Maria on Friday Sews. Thanks. Thanks, Maria, for your report about the bodice workshop at pattern making at Sydney Community College this week. I hope that you have a chance to look at what the Sydney Community College does because it's good value. So one of the other things that I did this week, other than the bodice, actually I'll show you the bodice. So this fabric, this is my work in progress of the bodice toile that we did on Tuesday. Now there's no requirement to actually make something in between class, but I like to do that because I like to see if what we did in class actually works in real life. The fabric I bought from Miss Maud's in New Zealand. We were there one year and I just happened to be in the town, found her, loved the place, found the fabric. She told me that it was the last piece, and I think it was probably only about a meter or so. It had sold out really quickly online. Loved the color, so I thought I'd use it. And what I've done is we talked about buttons and the button stand or the button placket. So I've put that into practice with this particular version. And the collar didn't come with the class, but I've used a designer stitch collar, and it's worked out perfectly on this particular one. And I've got the shorty sleeves, which was part of class, and hopefully these buttons might work. So they're the buttons that I will be using. Oh, they were from the sewing basket. Found in my stash. Speaking of stashes, because that's where I started from, on Stash Hub during the week, there was a post about how to lay your fabrics in the containers, the big plastic containers with lids. So I've done that, and as you can see up here, it works really well for wovens. I've got to be a little bit more careful when I put knit fabrics, but the knit fabric box that you can see are my wool merino knits that I need to use, but I won't start on them until the weather cools. It's just way too hot. And really, there's no need at the moment for me to do anything about that. On the podcast, a bit of podcast news. Ida Victoria, she's from Norway. I almost met her last year, and thankfully she agreed to be on the podcast. She's an independent pattern designer. However, the way she started was quite interesting, and she's just really lovely. Very honest about what she does, goes with the flow. Anyway, I hope that you listen in to Ida next week on Organized Style podcast. The fact that she's an independent pattern designer and has patterns means that on the weekend, for listeners and for viewers, there will be a giveaway, and I hope that you listen to her podcast and also take part in the giveaway. It's a PDF pattern, so there's no delay about sending books to people in different countries, as I've had in earlier podcast giveaways. On the SewOver50 account this week, you would have seen 2 posts that I put up about picture sizes. Instagram has moved from square to portrait size photos, and that's for posts, for stories, and for reels. It's a really simple post. On your camera setting, you should have a portrait setting. You can either place portrait size photos on Instagram or you don't. It's up to you. And then as a follow-up post for Throwback Thursday, you would have seen ooobop or Janine from London in the UK. She had a post about how to frame your photos for people to see your sewing really clearly, and so I've put that back up with her permission. And again, it's just to give you some ideas if you're new to putting images up on Instagram. She's got quite a few ideas there for you to maybe look at, consider, or not bother with. It's up to you. And lastly, before I finish up, the next video from my sewing studio will be about a delivery I just received today of some fabric from Minerva in the UK. I'm one of their ambassadors, and I have been for probably 11-12 years since they started, and I'm going to have some ideas about what I thought I could do, but I would really love your feedback. So for now, thank you for joining me on Friday Sews. This is Velo Sew Studio, and please take the time to have a look at other YouTubers who have their own Friday Sews broadcasts. So thank you for joining me. Cheers.